Hey everybody, this is James with wstrades.com. Want to give you an update here on NIO. Saw an article on carscoops.com and it says NIO to start German deliveries of ET7 electric sedan in 2022. NIO is entering the European market with its ET7 sedan and has released the first details regarding its launch in Germany. Entering Germany is the objective that we're striving for, NIO founder and chief executive William Li said. Our target is to have ET7 in Germany by the end of 2022. In addition to getting ready to launch the ET7 in Europe, the Chinese electric vehicle startup has started to recruit local talent and appointed Alex Schwartz as its European chief executive. Schwartz has previous experience at Airbnb, PayPal, and eBay. NIO has not yet announced German pricing for the ET7. It will be the second model sold by the automaker in Europe after deliveries of the ES8 SUV recently commenced in Norway. Chinese customers can order the NIO ET7 with one of 3 available battery packs. These start with a 70 kWh or kilowatt hour pack providing over 328 miles of range, a pack with 435 miles of range, and a pack with a claimed 621 miles of range. It features 2 electric motors, one at each axle, for a combined output of 644 horsepower and 627 pounds-foot of torque, and it accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds. So I thought this was a very good story here for NIO to see this coming out. I definitely believe that NIO has a bright future. I know after their recent earnings, they couldn't support that price level where they were at around $44 or $45 a share. So there's been a sell-off. We also have the news story coming out recently about the possible dilution of the shares, where NIO has requested, if needed, to, offer up to $2 billion worth of additional shares. So, there's definitely some negative news in the short term, but there is also some positive news coming out as well. Look here at the price action on NIO and see what's going on the daily chart here. I've drawn out a few trend lines here. After this big run up, they were kind of supporting this trend line I drew out here, and they made up that rally up to the 21-day exponential moving average here. Earnings came out, again, couldn't support that level, sold off to around 36, came back up, came back down, touched 36 again, rallied above the 21. This is when the bad news came out here on September 7th about the possible dilution of the shares, and them offering up to $2 billion worth of shares if needed. And that killed that candle there on the 7th, gapped below the 21-day exponential moving average, and they kind of been chopping sideways since then. Zooming in here, you see they've been riding right below the 21-day EMA, but pretty much sideways. Price has started to squeeze here, so this is the 3rd day in a row on the TTM squeeze histogram that the price is squeezing. So it looks like NIO might be ready to make a big move here. And zooming out again, you can see that I drew out this very long-term support line that got touched here in March, got touched here again late March, so that's like early March, late March, and then mid-April. It dipped below for a little bit in May when we had that really nasty market sell-off, but it's been above there since then. Again, touched it here, and just touched it again and rejected it back here on the 10th. So with the price squeezing, I think this thing could be making a very big move here soon. You can see last time on the TTM squeeze when the price was squeezing for about 8-9 days, it fired to the downside. That's where we had this big move and this big sell-off here. So with this thing dipping, coming back up to the 0 line on the TTM squeeze, I could definitely see this thing blasting off in the positive direction. I think a lot could be dependent on the actual offering of those shares. So NIO, came out and was seeking approval for the offering of up to $2 billion worth of shares. So it's going to, really be dependent here, I think, on if they're actually going to offer any of those shares in the short term. So I'll continue to keep you guys updated here on NIO. Please like this video. Please also subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this. Talk